The Rock is like 6'4". James is 5'11", 6 foot.
Yeah, he ain't blessed with that same GQ.
But you want to Denzel play Mr. T?
Oh, yeah, Mr. T. And Darnell could be his little brother.
We'll never lose.
I love it. Welcome back, Greg Jennings and Jason McIntyre in for Whitlock and Wiley. Next to me, I have Dwayne Johnson and Denzel all combined in James Harrison and Bucky Brooks here. Let's return to the NFL, where the Vikings and Eagles are chasing the NFC's final playoff spot, with Minnesota getting a win over Chicago, while the Eagles need a win and Vikings lost. Both teams have come to recent life in recent weeks, with Kirk Cousins back on track after the team changed offensive coordinators, while the Eagles have been energized by the return of Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles. J-Mac, who do you trust more this week, Kirk Cousins or Foles?
This week, every week, I'm a Kirk Cousins guy. I really do. Listen, we're killing Kirk Cousins for his, primetime miscues this year. He's struggled in primetime, no doubt. But if you look at his numbers, 70% completions, 4,000 yards, 29 TDs, he's having the best season of his career. But the reason I trust him is, let's say things break down this weekend and the Vikings are struggling. Kirk can lean on the running game and Dalvin Cook. He can lean on that defense, which is starting to play at a level it was at last year. I'm a Kirk Cousins guy through and through. I'm not jumping off that ship. I will ride with Kirk Cousins. I don't think Nick Foles has a supporting cast. No run game, no defense. The secondary is abysmal. I'll go with Cousins.
Congratulations, Jason McIntyre. I'm about to confirm your point, and I'm going to agree with you and say Kirk Cousins. I trust him more because of the supporting cast around him. And obviously, when we see a guy make that amount of money and get offered that amount of money, the expectation is through the roof. He has performed. He has lived up to his standard of what we have come to know Kirk Cousins as. Make big plays, throw for big yards, win some games, lose the important ones. He still has everything in front of him to what they set out to do, which is make the playoffs and have a deep playoff run. He just has to win on Sunday, and I trust him more than I trust Nick Foles.
And it's not in prime time. So.
I can't believe y'all trust him. They've gotten better by asking him to do less.
Yes!
He was throwing 40 times a game. They have now basically taken the ball out of his hands. He's only throwing it 24 times a game. $84 million quarterback who's a game manager. It is unbelievable.
Far from a game manager.
Well, that's what he's doing 24 times a game. He's basically Dak Prescott.
You got to be safe, though. You got to be playing safe
They're not
to get in the
asking
playoffs.
him to win it. Like, he is not the focal point of their offense the way that we thought he would be when they signed him to a big money deal.
Well, when he was the focal point of their offense, they struggled because they didn't have balance. Now your defense is starting to play better. Third best defense in all of football.
Absolutely.
You ride that as well as your running game that you have to turn around and hand the ball off to two prime running backs. Just relax. Kirk Cousins is fine where he's at. He's going to make plays when his opportunity arises.
Are we sure about that, though?
I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, I'm going with Nick Foles. Nick Foles has won the Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins hasn't won a big game or an important game or anything that really matters. Even if he wins this game, I'm still going against him for the playoffs because he hasn't won a playoff game and he doesn't perform well. It looks like under pressure, to be honest with you.
I mean,
I'm going with Foles.
Hey, Greg, let me jump in here. Notice these guys did not talk up Nick Foles. There's nothing to say about it. They just went after
Super Bowl.
Last year, what has he done this year?
What has he done any year in a big game?
Is this The Rock or is this James Harrison?
This is The Rock right here.
The Rock, okay.
I'm impressive with it. No, that's actually Denzel. I'm going to some other character. Okay. Switch back and forth. I don't really know sometimes. So.
Diverse.
Yeah, I'm real diverse. So.
But look, Nick Foles, you can say what you want to say. I could argue that the Eagles play better when Nick Foles is in the game. No matter what we talk about with Carson Wentz, when you look at the Eagles, they perform better when Nick Foles is there. There's something about his presence, his aura, when he's there, that they perform. Now we're in money time. When the game is big, he performed well, over 400 yards last weekend against the Houston Texans. We saw him perform in the Super Bowl. We have seen him play at a level where he had 27 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. What they're doing, they're recycling the Chip Kelly offense, but it's working for them. I've seen Nick Foles play at a high level and win games. I haven't seen Kirk
Okay,
Cousins.
let me add this level. I talk about all this all the time on my podcast. Trenches, trenches, trenches. The Minnesota Vikings cannot protect Kirk Cousins when he drops back. Go to look at the Pro Football Focus numbers. They have one of the worst pass blocking units in the league. Bucky, maybe that's why they're running.
But you know what we're doing? You know why we pay him that much money? We pay him that money to make it right. The reason he's making $84 million, we make it right. That's what it goes. Because if not, we could have kept Case Keenum and upgraded the offensive line if that is what we're looking for. His job is to get us over the hump. No excuses. He has to deliver on Sunday. All the eyes on Kirk Cousins.
Bucky, you might be making me.
No, Greg, stay on my side. We're on the right side.
I'm a realist because when you look at what transpired, the moment that the Philadelphia Eagles knew that, okay, we're going with Nick Foles. Look at what the guys did in the locker room. How it literally energized.
A shrine. They got a shrine in the locker.
Can we do this next week? Nick Foles versus Wentz? Because I'm on your side in that one.
But that lets me know that these guys in this locker room are willing to do whatever it takes to win for this guy.
Don't listen to
That's dangerous coming into this part of the season.
Man, Darren Sproles turning back the clock.
Tell me where you at now.
I am still with Kirk
Yes,
Cousins.
thank you very much.
Really,
he's a Vikings guy, James.
It really is. It has a lot to do with Mike Zimmer, with what Mike Zimmer is able to do.
Zimmer can't get in there and throw the ball for him.
He can't, but he can fire offensive coordinator and grab all the attention of his entire coaching staff and everybody on that offensive roster and get it right.
Get rid of that quarterback, though.
No, he's not getting.
James,
he don't want to.
relax.
There's no need to.
To the most dangerous guy in football this year, Patrick Mahomes, whose monster season has him as the favorite to win the MVP as we enter Week 17. Right behind Mahomes is wily veteran Drew Brees, who's having a record-setting year of his own, completing 74% of his passes. With the Saints locked into home field, Brees is actually going to sit out Sunday. Greg, does Brees deserve the MVP over Pat Mahomes?
Okay. I as much as I love and respect Drew Brees, this is not about what he's done over the course of his career. This is a season-to-season race. And this is not even a contest. Patrick Mahomes, with what he's been able to do numbers-wise, it is a flat-out no-brainer. And I tell you why. I see you rolling your eyes.
I am.
Drew Brees,
flat-out no-brainer,
Drew Brees has the luxury to lean on a defense. Patrick Mahomes does not have that luxury. It has been all Patrick Mahomes and that offense and his arm and his ability to be innovative and creative and spontaneous all year. All year. Even when they do lose, their offense still performs at a high level. Patrick Mahomes all the way.
All right, I don't know how we want to define MVP. I don't want to get off the rails here, but last year the Chiefs were very good with Alex Smith. They were a playoff team. Mahomes comes in, the numbers are up. I get that. I've got to go with Drew Brees, guys. And it's not a knock on Pat Mahomes, but in 4 big primetime games, 4 biggest games of the season, how'd he do, Bucky? He had 5 turnovers against the Rams. They gave him 2 chances in the 4th to come back, 2 turnovers. Drew Brees has 5 interceptions this season, folks. I mean, and again, I'm not knocking Pat Mahomes, but, you know, the Chargers game, all you need is a first down or 2. You ice the game. James, he couldn't get a first down. I got to go with Drew Brees. And again, it's close. Not saying like Greg Jennings, it's a landslide. It's close, James.
You know what was so crazy is yesterday I was on here and I was on Brees. I'm like, Brees deserves it. You know, he has this. The team is doing better. And I went back home, man, and I got on the computer and I said, let me look up the little clips, the little 10, 15-minute clips to show the highlights of all the games. So I looked at Mahomes, I looked at Brees. And I can't deny it anymore, man. It's Mahomes. I'm sorry, I had to switch over. Like the man.
Don't worry, Bucky's coming up.
Huge plays, man. Like huge plays. The numbers speak for themselves.
Denzel,
man.
hey, you can't go wrong with Denzel.
It's almost 1,000 yards difference. You're talking about 16 more touchdowns. Yeah, he got more interceptions, but he's making up for it. It's at no point in time if they scored less than 27, 28.
Before Bucky goes, James,
like,
is it all the
this
stats?
Dude is doing it himself, and they're going to be the #1 seed. The same as the Saints. It's not like I cannot not give it to him.
Right. What do you mean? Is it all the stats?
Listen,
Is it just stats?
Yesterday I was like dead shot. Drew Brees, yeah, he got to get it. They better. He got a higher percentage than this, but he's like right behind him. He's like 1 point here or there, 2 or 3 points here or there, and he's 1,000 yards more with 16 more touchdowns. How we go fight that?
I mean, what he's going to do is something I don't know if we've ever seen. 5,050. 5,000 passing yards, 50 touchdowns.
66%.
I mean, it's unbelievable what he's doing. And, I mean, like, I think we're forgetting the fact that this is his first year as a starter.
Impressive.
And so, I mean, we have never seen a quarterback come in the league and do this. And so, for Drew Brees, I get it. Look, Lifetime Achievement Award. He's an all-time guy. He's done 5,000 yards and done all those things. But let's be real.
But it's not a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Prior to the Pittsburgh Steelers game, his last 4 games, 171, 125, 201, and 203. It is hard for me to say that those are MVP quality numbers when this other guy is basically playing Madden 19.
Yeah, against the Raiders. Got it. Listen, guys, I would agree. It's close. It's close. But, Bucky, I keep coming back to this. The bad stats for Brees on the road, and he wasn't very good in I believe, Tampa. You know, and he had a couple other Dallas, obviously. But that balances out with Mahomes failing in big spots.
Did he fail?
He had 5 turnovers against the Rams.
Did he fail?
Can I insert something here?
5 turnovers in the biggest
Dude, he's like 326 yards a game versus the Brees.
Jason,
he has wins.
What other team?
Matt Stafford should have MVPs.
What other team in the NFC South is going to the playoffs?
I don't know. Top of my head, I don't know. Atlanta Falcons. They're going to the. No, they're not.
At this point, what is Patrick Mahomes is still playing, trying to get solidify the #1 seed. They could go from 1 to 5.
So he's going to pad stats against Oakland.
It has nothing to do with pad stats, but it has more. This game means more. So we're still going to see even more out of him. This is a big-time game for the young gun. Just admit it.
No, I'm not.
Hey, horrible.
I'm not coming, James. No, thank you.
It's okay.
It's not happening.
It's all right. They brought me over to.
Hey, watch Teddy Bridgewater struggle this weekend.
Teddy Bridgewater struggle.
He's going to struggle.
Stop it, guys. Before we go, don't forget, DraftKings is the leader in one-week fantasy football. This Sunday, DraftKings has a $1 million NFL contest that you can play for free. There's still time to play. Download the app, DraftKings app, and don't forget to use promo code FS1 to play free for your share of $1 million. DraftKings, the game inside the game. Coming up, Alabama and Clemson are both huge favorites this weekend. Joe Klatt will be here.